Hello students, this is Vijay Janandan Ushir. In the last lecture, we have studied the theory of collision theory of biomolecular reaction and the theory of absolute reaction rate. So, in that we have studied that the theory of absolute reaction states that there is the formation of activated complex in a reaction. So, in this lecture, we will study the mathematical treatment. So, Irings developed an equation that correlates the rate constant of a reaction and equilibrium constant K star for the reaction involving activated complex and reactants. Means the Eyring is a scientist. He develops an equation that relates the rate constant, that is K, of a reaction and equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant is denoted by symbol K star for a reaction involving activated complex and the reactant. And the equation is K is equal to RT upon NH into K star. This is called as equation 1, where R is a gas constant, T is the temperature, this R is a gas constant and it is measured in ergs per mole per Kelvin. T is the temperature, it is measured in Kelvin. N is a Avogadro's number, which value is 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. H is a Planck's constant and its value is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 and it is measured in ergs second. So, the Eyring developed the equation to relate the rate constant, that is this K, and specific rate constant and this specific reaction rate constant and equilibrium constant K star. So, this factor RT upon NH has a unit of second inverse, means this second inverse indicates that it has a frequency inverse, because the frequency also has the unit second inverse or hertz, and this RT upon NH has also the unit second inverse. Therefore, we can say that this factor RT upon NH have the frequency units. Let delta G star be the change in free energy accompanying the formation of activated complex. We know that delta G is the change in Gibbs free energy. But if we write the asterisk sign which indicates that delta G star, that is change in free energy accompanying the formation of activated complex, then according to Van 't Hoff reaction isotherm, which correlates the equilibrium constant with free energy change accompanying the reaction, is given by, means according to Van 't Hoff reaction isotherm, the equation is ln of K star is equal to minus delta G upon RT. K star is the equilibrium constant, delta G is the change in free energy, R is a gas constant and T is the temperature. So, we can write as ln of K star is equal to this delta G. What is the equation of delta G? Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. But we have written here delta H star minus T delta S star due to we are studying this free energy chain, that is Gibbs free energy chain, for the formation of activated complex, and that activated complex is denoted by this asterisk sign. Therefore, we have written this free energy in the form of activated complex as delta H star minus T delta S star upon RT. So, this equation can be rearranged as ln of K star is equal to minus delta H star upon RT. This RT is divided separately to delta H star and T delta S star. Therefore, we got minus delta H star upon RT, and this minus and minus gets cancelled. Therefore, plus T delta S star upon RT. Therefore, we can write this ln gets converted into e raised to power. Therefore, K star, that is equilibrium constant K star, is equal to e raised to minus delta H star upon RT, and this plus sign means in the form of logarithmic rules we can write in the form of multiplication. Therefore, we can write delta e raised to minus delta H star upon RT into e raised to T delta S star upon RT. This is called as equation 2, where delta H star and delta S star are the changes in enthalpy and entropy accompanying the formation of activated complex. Means this delta H star is the change in enthalpy and delta S star is the change in entropy of the accompanying the formation of activated complex. By substituting equation 2 into equation 1, which was equation 1, the Eyring's equation, that is K is equal to RT upon NH into K star. This was the equation 1. So if we put this equation 2, that is the value of K star into equation 1, what we got? K is equal to, this K is equal to RT upon NH as it is into K star. What is the value of K star? K star is e raised to minus delta H star upon RT into e raised to T delta S star upon RT. So taking logarithm on the both side. So if we take log of this equation, what we got? Ln of K, this K get converted into Ln. Ln of K is equal to Ln of RT upon NH, and this multiplication we can return in the form of addition. Means by the rule of logarithm, e raised to power, these two powers can be added. Therefore this E and Ln gets cancelled. Therefore we can write this equation as Ln of RT upon NH minus delta H star upon RT plus this T and this T gets cancelled. Therefore we got delta S star upon R. This is called as equation 3. Since the activated complex has temporary existence, we have studied this assumption that the activated complex has a temporary existence and it is very difficult to determine its thermodynamic property because of its temporary existence. It is unstable. We can't determine the thermodynamic properties by direct measurements. So what is the applicability of this equation? So the equation that correlates the rate constant, that is K, rate constant of reaction with delta G star, that is delta G star means the change in free energy for the activated complex is very significant. Also the equation means that if the change in free energy of the formation of activated complex is high, so the reaction will be slow. Means the change in free energy delta G and the rate of the reaction will be inversely related. If delta G star is higher, then rate of the reaction is slower. If delta G star is slower, the rate of reaction will be higher. Means this free energy change and the rate of reaction are inversely related at a given temperature. And further it is obvious that if delta H star and rate constant of reaction are known, then we can calculate the delta S star. Means from that equation we can calculate the entropy change, that is delta H star for the activated complex, and delta H star can be obtained from energy of activation of a reaction. Means this delta H star can be obtained from energy of activation, that is EA. The energy of activation can be roughly identified with internal energy change accompanying the formation of activated complex. Also further we have the equation delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N into RT. Delta E is the change in internal energy, delta N is the change in number of moles, R is a gas constant and T is the temperature. Therefore for first, second and third order reaction, provided the respective rate constants are expressed in concentration unit, the equations applicable to the formation of activated complexes for this reaction, how we can write? For the first order reaction, delta H star is equal to EA minus RT. So here coefficient of RT is 1. Therefore we can say that this is the first order reaction. If delta H star is equal to EA minus 2RT, then we can say that the reaction is a second order reaction. If delta H star is equal to EA minus 3RT, then we can say that it is a third order reaction. And in the formation of activated complex, means in a reaction when activated complex forms, the delta N, that is change in number of moles, is always negative, because as from the two or more molecules, a molecule of activated complex is formed. Means activated complex is only one species and two or more reactants get combined to form an activated complex. Therefore, if one activated complex 1 minus if 3 reactant molecules are involved, so 1 minus 3, therefore it is, well, we get the value of minus 2. Therefore the delta N is always negative. And the advantage of absolute reaction rate theory are, what are the advantages? it is not restricted to the bimolecular reaction. It is also applicable to the termolecular reaction. Means it is not restricted to only two molecules, but it is also applicable to reaction involving termolecules, that is 4 molecules. And also it can be applied to the reactions in solutions where the collision frequency Z cannot be obtained from the kinetic theory. Means the reaction which occurs in solution where the collision frequency Z cannot be obtained, we can be applied this absolute reaction rate theory. And also it provides the quantitative treatment of steric factor P in the collision theory. So what is the comparison between collision theory and transition state theory? So according to collision theory, we have the equation K is equal to Pz into e raised to minus Ea upon Rt. We have studied this equation according to collision theory. And according to transition state theory, we have learned now this K is equal to Rt upon Nh e raised to minus delta H star upon Rt into e raised to T delta H star upon Rt. So we can write as K is equal to Rt upon Nh e raised to minus delta H star upon Rt. This T and T gets cancelled, therefore we can write delta H star upon R. And we have the equation that delta H star, that is change in enthalpy for the activated complex, is nearly equal to the activation energy. Therefore what we can say, therefore Pz is equal to Rt upon Nh e raised to delta H star upon R. This Rt upon Nh e raised to delta H star upon R, because this delta H star and this activation energy are nearly same. Therefore we can write Pz is equal to Rt upon Nh e raised to delta H star upon R. Since both this Z is the collision frequency, therefore its unit is second inverse or Hertz. And also we have seen the unit of Rt upon Nh, it has also the frequency units. The probability factor may be identified with change in entropy accompanying the formation of activated complex. So the main factor responsible for the difference between observed rate constant and calculated from the collision theory is then delta H star. Means we have studied that there is a difference between observed rate constant and calculated rate constant from the collision theory, but here we got the main factor responsible for this difference, that is delta H star, that is entropy change for the activated complex. What is this entropy change? Entropy change is the disorderness or randomness in the system. So for reactions involving simple molecules, if the reactions involve simple molecules, delta H star is the small, that is entropy change is small, and hence the observed K value agrees satisfactorily with calculated K value for reaction involving simple molecules, because the entropy change or disorderness or randomness is small. The formation of activated complex from reactant molecules containing large number of atoms is accompanied with large decrease in delta H star. Means if the formation of activated complex from reactant molecules having large number of atoms, means complex molecules, then there is large decrease in entropy, that is delta H star, and the factor e raised to delta H star upon R is much less than the unity. This factor is much less than the unity, and that's why the observed K value differs from the calculated K value by a factor called as a Z into e raised to minus Ea upon Rt, and it is a very large factor. And the transition state theory therefore provides the transition state theory, means the theories of absolute reaction rate, which provides the theoretical interpretation to the probability factor P that was introduced empirically in collision theory. Means in the collision theory we have studied the equation K is equal to Pz into e raised to minus E upon Rt, and that probability factor P which was introduced in collision theory, which was satisfactorily explained in the transition state theory. Thank you. In the next lecture will be the last lecture of our first chapter, that is chemical thermodynamics. So we will study the next lecture. Thank you. Like the half-life period of a reaction, one may consider the 1/4 or 3/4 of life. Means T half, we also consider the 1/4, that is T1/4, or 3/4, that is T3/4. And in the former, 1/4, that is initial concentration of reactant, is consumed, while in the latter 3/4 of the amount is consumed. Means if we consider T1/4, then only 1/4 reactant is consumed. If we consider 3/4, then 3/4 concentration is consumed. So, in fact, one may consider a period for the completion of any fraction of reaction. Means if we may consider T1/4, T3/4, or T half. If T half is there, then there is 50% completion. If T1/4 is there, then there is 1/4 completion of a reaction. And if T3/4 is there, then there is 3/4, that is 3/4 of the completion of reaction. And most frequently, however, the half-life period of reaction is considered. Means infrequently we consider only the half-life period, that is T half of the reaction is considered. Thank you. This was the last lecture of first chapter, that is chemical thermodynamics. In the next lecture, we will study the problems on chemical thermodynamics. Then we will study the second chapter, that is surface chemistry. Thank you.